Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to review round 7 of the 2025 NRL Fantasy season. So in isolation, score of 900 seems pretty good, but it was only good enough for 54,000th in the round, and saw me slide back to just inside the top 17k. So must have been some big scores this week. I'm sure we'll see a few in the head-to-head matchup. I haven't even looked that far yet. Just finished recording the Supercoach video and into this one. So if we have a look at the team, Mamazelis with 55 continues to just put out solid scores as hooker. Happy to have him in the team. The middles continue to be fantastic. Isaiah Yeo with 61 is probably minimum. Terrell May with 86 was immense. And Payne Haas at 73 as our captain was, a really nice score. The edges were okay without being fantastic. I mean, Dylan Egan, 51, is fantastic for a rookie. I think I got him in at 260k, so 220k in profit and probably climbing. Hopgood with a 48. I guess, a lot of the para guys sort of lifted with Moses back in the team. But with a few on the bye this week, I didn't realise I had so many para players until now, so we'll see how we go. I'm going to have to make a trade, I think. Metcalf with 46 was solid in the Golden Point win over the Bronx. Nathan Cleary, great to see back in form with a 93. The centres, after being so fantastic last week, a bit flat this week. Toa with the 28, Kautoga with just the 16. So not sure what happened there. Kalen Ponga with 38. So I guess he didn't score much more in Supercoach, so that must have just been base. 38 Fiongi. Obviously we held him because of Mitch Moses and we're hoping for a bit more. But I know he got sin bin, which is probably frowned upon in fantasy. So I guess despite scoring 2 tries, probably didn't quite get the output we were hoping for. But Jacob Kiraz coming back into the team, 59. Great stuff from him. Fantastic trade in this week. Mitch Barnett stood up in the absence of the fish with 49. Tom Gilbert we held 28, but with Max Plath going down injured, potentially moves back into that 13 role, which we'll see him kick again in price. I guess as well we were talking about flipping him to Nat Butcher, another casualty this week, so sometimes it pays to hold. Lockie Hubner with 23 before getting concussed, so another one we've got to cover this week. So I think we need to do 2 trades just to get 17 on field, which isn't great. Campbell a late out, and sounds like he's out for a few weeks, so probably high on the chopping block just given the amount of cash that he can unlock for us. Savala with the 35, again solid kicking game, but the Panthers were quite good, so not a lot of attacking going on there. Riley Smith with 33 continues to slow burn, make a bit of cash. Nwangani Tawasi would have been the play. Attacking very good, offloads and tackle busts and all that, but a little bit susceptible defensively, so he may miss out to Billy Smith this week. Definitely have to have a look at team list of Savo. And Tom Jenkins with just the 20. But we may need to actually play him this week, just given the outs we have going into the week. So head to head, let's have a look. Having to think about it. Got to re-log in. This is a first. Now leagues. So got a win in the first league over differential with an 871. See how many differentials he's got. So no Harry Grant. So who would have played for him? No one. So might have been the difference in the end, not having a hooker. But Captain May, which is nice, a good bump on what's that, extra 13 points on me. Same edges. Tino matched Isaiah Yeo. Had Cleary as well, Sandon Smith, so we covered him there. Had Greg Marzu though, so that was massive, an 88 for Big Greg. Had Nwangani Tawasi and Toya on the bench, so I did trade Toya out. So the 41 would have been nice, maybe generate a little bit more cash, but just really wanted Kiraz. Should have gone Jenkins, I think, but it is what it is. Cool. So across the league, if I go back, so I go matchups. Oh, fixtures. Sorry. I'll work it out one day. So, there you go, couple of thousands. Let's look at both of them. Schmick Richards, 1,023. So Connor Watson, 67. Had Cleary, Canton Nicholson scoring well. So I had Isaiah Yeo. So just solid across the board. There you go. No Greg Marzo. I thought would have had to have him. How do you get... I'm trying to work out where the difference is. So Connor Watson, yeah, scored a few more. I mean, the edges were similar to my edges. Maybe Hopgood was a little bit down. I guess Tamale and Toya definitely outscored my centres. But yeah, the bench, I guess Wong and I had Egan. So Wong probably outscored my bench like a Savala. But yeah, I don't know. Fantastic anyway. Well done, Schmick. And the other 1,000 score was a 10-16 for Panicat Tedesco. So he has Couchman with 81. I think, yeah, he might be one we just have to bite the bullet and get in. Yeah, other than that, like I've, got a lot of these guys. So Connor Watson on the bench. Fogarty with 57 was good. Nafahu White's good with a 58. Definitely one we need to get in, I think, now with Butcher going down. Yeah, let's look at that. So just solid scoring throughout. Nice. Cool. All right, but go back to the second league. No, sorry, my leagues. So a 9-16 for Crocodile Dumfries, getting the win. So Captain Haas had McInnes, covered him there. Preston with 69, nice differential. So I had Marzu. So I guess I had Kautoga. So probably Toya over Toa. It's easy for you to say. Difference maker there. Played Nwangani Tawasi. So yeah, not that far off, but obviously just squeaked over the line. If we have a look at the fixture, any thousands? Yeah, 1,022 for Fatality, Phil's team. So Captain Terrell May, playing Rolly Smith at hooker. Had Presto, Farnworth with a 74 is a nice get, and Marzu. So I can sort of see how you got 1,000 this week. Some big scores from the backs, which is what you want to see. But I guess, like I said, in terms of the plan this week, so just having a bit of a look, I guess we could put Barnett on field. Nwangani Tawase, if he is playing in the centres. And Jenkins at wing fullback we can do. So I guess we haven't got Hubner either. So we'll just push him down, push Hopgood down a couple of spots. So yeah, so we probably need to do a couple of trades. I guess we should try and hold these guys, but maybe Iongi could be traded out. We did sort of hold, but does he have more growth in him? It's going to be Iongi or Hubner, so we can work it out off that sort of cash. But I think we have to trade Campbell as well. So Campbell out. I'll trade Iongi just because he's got less cash. So we'll see the options and then it doesn't matter which one we trade. But then I guess, what does that leave us with? So probably, I guess we've got the wing fullback cover through Nwangani Tawase, but given they're both wing fullbacks, we probably do need to bring in a like for like. Um, but then I guess after that, who do we want to bring in? Do we want to get on a Couchman who's just crushing it as a, probably the edge keeper that we hoped Barnett and Hopgood would be? Dylan Lucas, if he's back this week, could be a nice differential. So 2.78%. So Couchman's not highly owned either. So do we take the dip at him now? And what does that leave us with? 550k. So not the worst for a wing fullback. Let's see what we can afford. I don't think it's going to be anything great, but that's okay. So Hiroti could maybe make a bit of cash, but it'd be a 1 week sort of flip. Hopewadi's still an option. How's he gone? 45 in the last 3 since moving to fullback. And I know people talked about he makes more on the wing. Turbo could be back soon, so that's an option. I guess as well, I'm not factoring in Origin at the moment, but we probably should. Whoever we pick should play week 12. So, Brimo is going okay, not setting the world on fire. But I guess at 550k, who really is? I guess maybe the option, if we want to look at a bit of cash, there's a bit of hype about Fitzgibbon. So bottom dollar, obviously coming off a 6 in week 1, so a bit of a slow burn perhaps, but has sort of taken over from Francis there. So we could just go down with our cover. Or do we use the third trade? We do have a third trade this week, so I mean, if we did do like a downgrade, would we do that, or would we go Billy Smith? What's Smith at? Centers. So 470 is not the cheapest, but I think he is going to make a bit of money. So we could always cover with Nwangani Tuasi. Although if Smith comes in for Marky Mark, then the whole thing's moot anyway. So yeah, would Nwangani Tuasi? Could he go to fullback if Teddy played Origin? That might be the play to hold him there in case of emergency. I don't know. So I guess let's go all positions and just see what we can get at 550k. So yeah, all positions. So Harris Tavita's been okay as a half. Purdue, obviously we've missed most of his cash gen, but still got money to make, I'm pretty sure. Most people have started to get off safer, so yeah, there's no real sort of solid options. Maybe a Appy Coruscant hooker, bit hot and cold. Yeah, no real sort of standout options, I suppose, at that price point. So we may just have to have a look at some cash gen, one up, one down sort of deal. I can still do this one trade. So we lock that in. That gives us a 16th player this week. Should have just swapped them around. So yeah, so we can have a bit of a think about who we're trading out and who we're going to bring in. But yeah, don't need this video going forever watching me have a think about it. I guess what we could do is we'll do the Fitzgibbon move and we'll see what that gives us. So if we go Iongi out and Hubner out, so let's go Fitzgibbon. 760 gets us most options. So could go Dylan Lucas. Can't quite afford a Preston or Farnworth. Can't afford a Tarpany. Just out. I think another half would be nice. You know, like we've got to play Metcalf. I guess Moses looked really good. Week 1, do we get on our guy Isaiah Katoa? Or do we go Fletcher Sharp? Like Fletcher Sharp is a like for Campbell really. So all we're doing is Campbell to Sharp and then Iongi and Hubner. So basically, yeah, we're upgrading Hubner to Couchman and using Iongi's cash by cashing out to Fitzgibbon. That makes sense. The Knights have the Warriors over in New Zealand this week. Do they play round 12? I don't remember. I don't think the Dolphins do anyway. So it could be Qatar, it could be Fogarty as a half they play each other this week, which is interesting. Hines, he's not doing that badly to be honest. Maybe the Tigers weren't overly convincing, but they were only playing the Eels to be fair. So yes, I think that's going to be the players to bring in a half, because I guess that's where we sort of had Campbell. But whether it's Sharp, Katoa, Fogarty, we're not too sure at the moment. Let's go. What's the most expensive of the three? Fogarty. We can make that work. Well, actually, Hines should play round 12, so it probably is going to be Hines, isn't it? So yeah, so 3 trades will get us that, and then can push Hines in. Obviously, if you want to make it look like a keeper sort of team, Hines sort of definitely upgrades our second half spot. Couchman, that looks pretty sexy if I'm being honest. You know, and you add in Hopgood as a reserve as well. It's not looking too bad. There's the question mark about, you know, Marky Mark being out, but we do have Fitzgibbon. So let's just swap Kiraz in there. So what have we've done something wrong there, haven't we? How have we magically got 8? Oh, we did 3 trades, that's why we didn't do 2. Never mind me. 3 trades gets us 18 for this week, which gives us a bit of cover. So if Marky Mark's out, Fitzgibbon will just slot in. If anyone's out at the moment, Fitzgibbon will slot in. And then in terms of captain, vice captain, I mean, it's got to be the 2 informed boys. I think we've got to give it to Terrell May just on form. And also the fact I'll be cheering for the Dogs this week at Suncorp means I hope Haas doesn't go too fantastically. Headset just cut out, which is a golden sign I've gone too long in this video. So let's wrap it up there. As always, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the NRL Fantasy content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.